welcome to New Childhood Podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Melanie.
And we are here to do a deep dive of a new chapter. Let's get into it. In this chapter, Melanie keeps a big secret from Syaoran, and then everything blows up in her face. Do you have any secrets that you had to keep from your friends? Were you successful, or did the truth come out?
So, spoiler, like Priya gave me this to think about, so I've had to think about it since Saturday night. And I am actually really terrible at keeping secrets. Like, I can. Like, if you really ask me not to say anything, I can. I just have a tendency just to, like, word vomit. But so I couldn't think of, like, a good example for myself. But one I thought of that's kind of funny is actually not my secret, but it sort of has to do with me. So my good friend Jean and I, we sort of dated, but not really, for like a little while in high school. We had like a little thing, but then we ultimately decided, like, you know what, we're better off as friends, and we kind of parted along our merry ways. It wasn't until years later I'm at a friend's Christmas party, and we're all like sitting on her back deck, and we're all like chatting, and at this point we've all been friends for years at this point. And Jean's wife Christina goes, yeah, I didn't know if I would have a shot with Jean because I know his ex-girlfriend was a model.
I love that. I love that.
And I remember looking over at Jean, and I was like, who? Because Kansas City is a small modeling market. I was like, how did I not know this? I probably know her. And Jean is African American, but he got so red and he just started stuttering. And then Christina realized it before I did, and she's like, wait. And then Jean goes, yeah, it was Melanie.
I love that. I love that.
I was like, what are you talking about? We weren't even like serious or anything. He goes, I know, but he's like, but I told people that I dated a model, so then that way girls would think I was more cool and like.
Hey, I don't blame the guy. That's quite the accolade.
But Christina, to this point, had no idea that him and I, quote unquote, dated at this point. But she was such a good sport about it. She thought it was so funny because literally I was telling her, I was like, we only maybe went on like 2 dates. And then we very much figured out we were very fine being friends. But anyways, the whole secret was I was this like ex-model girlfriend that made him more, alluring to female. But anyway.
No lies detected. No lies detected.
That's the only one I could think of that sort of fit the bill, but was funny and kind of lighthearted. So, anyways.
So I think this was in the mid-2000s. We were in our 20s, and Miriam, one of my best friends, she moved to a city that was 2 hours away from our hometown to start a new job. And this was a pretty big step for her, living by herself, first time. So my friends and I, we drove down 2 hours and we spent the day with her, and it was fun, it was great, and she was so proud to show us her place, her new neighborhood, all the sights. We come back, door is locked, and she realizes that she doesn't have her purse. And the keys are in her purse, and it's probably one of those doors that like locks, like from like when you leave the outside, it locks by itself. So she's freaking out, totally embarrassed. Like, we don't blame her at all, but like, here she is hosting us, and now we're all kind of trapped outside her apartment door. And then you have Mabel. She was trying to pick it with a bobby pin, but then that didn't help.
Kai.
Exactly, true Kai. So then finally, reluctantly, Miriam called the locksmith, came, opened the door. She was completely mortified. So we're, coming in and we're unloading the trunk, and then we find her purse hiding in the back of the trunk. I still remember Samantha coming in with the bag in her hand saying, Miriam can never know about this. So we tucked it next to the couch, And they're like, Miriam, your purse was there. And she's like, I don't understand. I never put my purse there. Oh, but you were probably distracted with all of us. But I never put my... So we had to gaslight the hell out of her.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. That is so funny.
And to this day, this girl has been my friend since 1997. To this day, she has no idea it happened. I'm sure all the other girls must have forgotten about now. I'm the keeper of memories in my group, and this one is not resurfacing maybe for another 20 years.
Hey, I won't bring it up in a bridesmaid speech then next year. Like, hey guys, you remember this purse story? Well, do I have tea for you from the American?
So yeah, that is one secret that Miriam will never ever know, because I know that she would, like, okay, fine, it was a long time ago. It's like, what, 20 years have passed since that happened. But like, I put myself in her shoes, and she must have been so mortified, and knowing that the bag was with her the whole time. Anyway, so that is my secret.
That's so cute.
Okay, today we'll be discussing Chapter 45, The Silence of Darkness. This was released June 10th, 2003, so just under 4 months since the last update. I was definitely among the fans who were waiting for this specific update, but it won't be until February 2024 when Kiri Blossom would found the New Trials ring and then really bring the fans together. The word count is 26,141 words, which is roughly 5,000 words more than the last chapter. We are in the month of October, and the gang is in the 9th grade.
And it's funny because we're in October now,
Yes.
so it's like matching us.
It is matching.
So I just wanted to do a quick little housekeeping thing. So guys, unfortunately, as you all know, I had computer issues. I thought I lost the audiobook there for a minute, but my husband very valiantly was able to save everything. But very sadly, some of my sound effects and music and stuff like that, we could not get it to tie back into the sound file or something like that. So unfortunately, here going forward, I don't know, Arc 3 is probably not going to have very many more sound effects. I'll see if maybe once I have more time to sit down with the chapters and see if I can really try to add it back in there. But unfortunately, this chapter is the first casualty. But let me tell you guys, I had so many cool ones. Like, I had a ringing sound effect for the ears, like when the wave hits, like, and then I had like the crowds coming back, like slowly, like when Sakura's like, I can hear again. I had like so much cool stuff. Like, I had like the rock and roll music for like Kai's headphones, like taking on and off, and it was all lost. But anyway.
Well, if it's any consolation, at least Starcrossed was out in the world before
Yes,
this
thank
happened.
God.
Because I don't think you would have forgiven yourself if you lost all of that. That was such a labor of love. And as you're describing Chapter 45, I'm like, this chapter is so fresh in my head, so I'm totally on your level, and I could imagine all these things happening. But honestly, if you had to pick between keeping the chapters and, like, just having the sound effects, like...
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, this is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But, you know, as you as listeners going forward, if you're like, oh man, where's all the cool sound effects that Melanie usually does? Like, what's going on? Well, riddle is what happened.
Well, who knows? It's like we're coming out with these chapters slowly enough. You might be able to have some time to tinker with the future ones, but that's okay. We forgive you. It's not your fault. And honestly, just the fact that the chapters are intact, we couldn't be more grateful.
Thank you.
Okay, time for the summary. Syaoran dreamed about the hard times before he and Erica submitted themselves to the Dark Ones. Erica came to see him, and he mentioned that he wished Miho's brother misery. Sakura went to Syaoran's, and Mei Lin informed her that he left. Kai arrived through the window with Tomoyo right behind him. Meilin was angry at Kai for the news report about his threat to steal Xing-san's painting, but he claimed that it was a setup, so he went out to clear his name and to take back something important. Sakura found Syaoran practicing techniques with his father's sword at his father's old home in Itugu. He invited her in, and Sakura saw the portrait of Li Shulin. Another flashback brought them to a sweet Nadeshiko and Riren scene in their early days, where Syaoran and Sakura learned about the Amamiya/Reed/Li triangle and the curse of the Dark Ones possessing Chang twins. When they left, they ran into a forlorn Ariel who said there were 5 forces floating around. That was when the wave made Sakura deaf. At school, Sakura was getting in trouble for not listening, but Syaoran gave her telepathic messages, and Kai distracted the teacher with a snake. Sakura and Syaoran had lunch on the roof, and he playfully stole her shrimps. Sakura got her earring back, but when she saw that Kai was deaf, Sakura got her hearing back, but then she saw that Kai was deaf, even if he understood people facing him. Meilin was impressed with Mike after Miho introduced them before everyone came home. When Sakura asked Tomoyo how Miho could be sure that Mike was her brother, Tomoyo told her that he had proof. After school, Kai told Sakura that he thought Miho's brother was a coward and a fraud after she asked, and he was referring to the real one as well after she specified. Sakura and Ariel were suspicious of Mike. On Sunday, Miho ran off when Ariel stated the facts about how Mike couldn't be her brother, and he had the 4 guardians look out for her as they watched her join her brother. It was the night of the burglary, and Kai wanted to steal the painting before the imposter did. Kiro-chan then met Sakura and Syaoran before starting their plan of Syaoran distracting the police in Tomoyo's Kaitu costume and Sakura capturing the force. Kai found the imposter in the Xing exhibit room, and he unknowingly set the alarm while stealing the painting since he was deaf. Kai saw the necklace on the magician and took the painting away in anger. Sakura tried to help, but when Wave blocked her by creating a barrier, she used the silent to vacuum the room at Syaoran's suggestion to steal it after months on the loose. Kai pinned down the magician and gave Sakura the go-ahead to seal it, even if it meant never seeing the locket that he once thought his life depended on again. Sakura used telepathy to let Syaoran know that he can escape, even if he was having fun playing thief. Yui later told them that the magician wasn't Miho's brother, as Mike told Miho to go back during the museum heist. After a telepathic conversation, Sakura got angry with Syaoran for not trusting her with the information that she realized he was guarding from her. Then she told him to tell her what he had been meaning to say since last Sunday, but with everyone there, Syaoran said never mind, and she didn't trust him. She agreed, accusing him of turning his back like Riren, which hurt him. Back home, Syaoran confronted Meilin for not telling him about the letter and believing that he would go back. Syaoran was staying in Japan. A hurt Meilin went to stay with Kai, who gave her a shoulder to lean on, as she told him that a part of her hoped that he would choose his family over Sakura after hearing the news. Still, the reason why she hid the truth was so that she wouldn't be responsible for tearing Syaoran away from Sakura, and therefore redeeming herself for not destroying their relationship. When she asked Kai why he was being nice, he stroked her hair and reminded her that they had a lot in common, and Meilin felt a tingle down her back. Sakura dreamed about calling out for Syaoran only to turn to someone with a violet blue ponytail. Then the dream turned into darkness, and she couldn't remember anything as she was faced with icy blue eyes. Whew. You know, I'm kind of impressed with my past self for writing these summaries. It's very, like, now that I've just finished listening to the audiobook and reading the summary, it's like, I did a good job.
Indeed.
All right. So, chapter opens with Aaron's flashback, where he worked real hard to earn money for a princess doll for Erica, but the head of the orphanage found his stash and accused him of stealing. Ugh, so sad.
I swear, this lady is the true villain of New Trials.
Well, the thing is, though, you're talking about, like, because the current orphanage head with Subaru, she really sucks. And now back, like, you know, what, like 10 years ago, like let's say 11 years ago when Aaron was little, and now this head of orphanage, it's like, I see a trend.
Wonder if it's the same lady.
No, it's not. I don't know. You know what? You could be onto something, because Ari was part of that orphanage, and now she's returned to help out, so it would make sense that she returned to the same place. You know what? I'm not going to discredit your theory. It's like, it could be, because it could be.
So I'm saying, I think it's one lady, and she's the true villain of all of NT.
Move over, Leon.
Mm-hmm.
She still punished him anyway for breaking curfew, and to say that he was fuming is putting it lightly. Now, I think it's an interesting choice that Aaron was already an adult when he was a child, and I attributed that to the Dark Ones, but now it's clear that it's because of his sick sister.
Yeah, well, I think when trauma makes you grow up faster, too, you know.
Yeah. We get an appearance of Ryuichi here, and the state of how he was before the possession. So yeah, I because when New Trial starts, they're already possessed. So these flashbacks are kind of like a hint of how they were like before the Dark Ones got a hold of them. Aaron wakes up really angry to the point of smashing his glass against the wall, and when he was trying to figure out why he was fuming, the line, or was it because he was reminded that even now he felt trapped and powerless, because he realized that there was no change from then or now, really jumped out to me.
I think it's like, you know, we saw the first cracks during the summer arc, and now, like, we're really starting to see the cracks in the facade of the Dark One with Aaron, you know? And it's just all kind of leading up to when he finally breaks free.
Yeah, because making the deal with the original Dark Ones was just swapping one burden for another. We switch focus to Ariel, and in the short time we spent... Oh, yes.
Sorry. I have one more thing to bring up. Did you notice that he says, let's see, a figure with a long black cloak stood on top of a nearby tree, and Aaron nodded to it. The magician, sly as a cat and cunning as a mouse. With a magnificent bow to Aaron, the lord of the dark forces, the magician leapt away and evaporated into the air. The lord?
Well, I actually touched on this in my Dark Forces corner. I said after Aaron wakes up from his dream, there's a magician that bows to him and disappears from outside his window. I just feel that's the magician.
Yeah, but it's just, you know, like, it's called the Lord of the Dark Forces. Like, to me, he's like the ruler, you know? So my brain kind of goes to tarot a little bit. And I feel like also this is one of those dark forces that can talk. Yeah. Right? And so it's almost like, I wonder, because there's an emperor and an empress in tarot. So I'm wondering if maybe he's the emperor, and then Mir, she can talk, and maybe she's like the empress, you know, because I don't know. That's kind of where my brain was going. But I thought it was a very specific wording that Wish-chan used that I feel like she hasn't used up to this point. And it kind of made me pause when I was listening to this today on my drive, and I was like, the Lord?
I know that Wish-chan has, like, spelled out that the mirror is the mouthpiece on behalf of all of the cards. So I definitely understand your line of thinking. When the Lord thing didn't pop out to me as much. I just figured, like, oh, dark force, magician, out in the wild before he's caught, because he's one of the forces that Ariel mentioned. It's like, oh yeah, there's 5 of them floating around. So I think Wish Chan was trying to, like, give him some airtime. But that's an interesting road.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Diana and everyone else thinks, like what their theories are about that, because I just feel like it's very specific for Wish Chan to mention, and I don't feel like I'm halfway through arc 4, and I feel like it hasn't been mentioned again in like describing a dark force. So I'm just interested. I'm curious.
Yeah, because like once the magician is captured, from the top of my head, I know that Sakura is going to release him again just so that Kai can have a look at him to confirm it's like, oh yes, the locket really is gone. But then after that, I don't think that the card is used for the rest of Neutrals.
Yeah, not that I can think. Nothing that's popped up yet in arc 4 that I'm at so far anyway. It's not that I can think of.
Okay. Yes, so we switch focus to Ariel, and in the short time we spend with him, we gather that Mikei's return is weighing heavily on him. So basically, it's foreshadowing that things aren't what they seem. At school, during a journalism club meeting, we learn that both Kai and Syaoran are AWOL, and that the Kai-2 magician was popping up in the newspaper again. Chihiro comments that it's been months since the last earthquake, but I'm going to chalk that up as a mistake on Wish Chan's part, because if it has been months, Mei Lin would already have been healed and back in Hong Kong, because right now she's just been discharged, and and said that she will be healed within a month, so that's the timeline I'm going to go with. Because remember, like, the battle of the sun and the moon, that's not going to happen until she goes.
Right, which that's coming up.
Yes. Because I made a New Trials timeline, and and if it has also been months, then we would have been in Christmas already, and we're quite far from it.
Yeah. Maybe she meant to put weeks.
I think weeks would have been the better word. It's like, this is 2003. This would be years and years and years before my timeline comes out. But yes, definitely weeks would make more sense in this context. We are now at the museum on a field trip to see the Thief of the Night painting. Sakura was really surprised when Kai showed up, and he casually mentioned that he wasn't stealing anything, regardless of Kai-2 magician being in the news. Aaron shows up and says, the mother of all quotes, that foreshadows Keisuke. I marvel the artist for such dramatization of mere scum, but to an artist, his model is like his own flesh and blood. His masterpiece, his very own child. It's only natural that Shing-san could capture such fire and soul into his painting. As they say, a father is blind to his child's flaws.
What the heck?
Like, of course nobody picked up on it. It's Keisuke's dead. But, like, now that we know, it's like, Wish Chan's like, neener.
I will never forget, because I was one of the people that was shocked when the whole Keisuke thing happened. But I remember, I don't know who it was in the group, but someone, maybe it was Kiri, I don't know, but someone brought up this quote when everything was going down. They're like, look, Wish Chan told us chapters ago what was going to happen. I remember we were all like, what? It was right there the whole time.
Yeah, so like right now in real time, the new trial, sorry, not like the publishing times, we're in March 2003. And it wouldn't be until December 2009 when Shing gets his memory. And that's in chapter 64.
Wow. Wow, Wish-chan.
So that's 6 years.
But I will say, like, jumping ahead a little bit, and we can maybe talk about this a bit more once we get to arc 4, but I've just done that chapter when it's revealed and all the memories are turned and everything's hunky-dory, and this is right kind of in the timeline where, skip ahead, guys, if for whatever reason, if you don't want spoilers, I don't know, but, like, this is when, like, Sakura's dating Aaron, and, like, she doesn't get mad that Aaron doesn't, like, that Aaron knew this whole time and he's never said anything. Because I remember, like, I don't know, we can talk about we're in arc 4, but I remember she gets kind of upset because she's like, maybe it must be at Syaoran. She's like, did you know? Did you know? And it's like, well, why are you getting mad at him when Aaron literally told you years ago? Anyway, jumping ahead a bit, but
that's fine. I like the fact that we can jump ahead because it's there, and if anybody's listening to this podcast, it's because they've gotten to Syaoran's birthday special extravaganza, and it doesn't hurt to be reminded. So, like,
our 6-year limbo that we've all been in.
I just think that, like, if Sakura is going to start nitpicking everything that Aaron has done or kept from her, then they wouldn't be in a relationship at all. So I think she's just compartmentalizing, and it's like, okay, that's how you were back then, and I see that you've come to the light, and I'm going to give this new you a chance. But if she's going to start, like, tearing up all the secrets that he had to keep from her and all the things that he's done to her, then, like, what's the point of even giving him such a chance?
Well, and again, we can talk about this more once we get in arc 4, but I could write a whole dissertation about how her feelings for Syaoran and her feelings for Aaron are completely different, and like the way that she treats them and the different pedestals she puts them on, in my opinion, really highlights this. But anyways, I can go into that diatribe when we get there in arc 4. But brava, Wish-chan, beautiful foreshadowing. We must applaud you. Like, this was amazing.
Yes, we've said it before. We will say it again. It's so wild that Wish-chan was sitting on this secret for so long and being so blatant with her clues. That's when Aaron walked away and decided to target the wave on Kai. So, yep, very, very busy boy. At the end of the day, Sakura went to visit Syaoran, but we learned from Melanie that after he brought her back home, he packed a bag and said he had to leave for an errand, and he hasn't been back ever since. They chatted about the museum where Melanie shared her annoyance over the delinquent, and that's when we had a real speak of the devil moment when Kai barged in with Tomoyo quite literally behind him as she scampered through the window as well.
Oh, so dang funny.
On the news, there was a story about the Kai-2 magician sending a message saying exactly when he was going to steal Xing's painting. And we get the return of Melanie's great news anchor voice. Can't take that away from us.
Thank you.
Kai claimed innocence, even though he hasn't stolen anything since the Five Forest treasures. We learn that he is still going out, like the magician, because he is hunting down the missing locket.
Yes.
Poor Kai. It's like... That locket has given him nothing but grief ever since the tracker. He thought that his worries would be over, but no. No. Sakura decides to focus her concentration on finding Syaoran, and for a fleeting moment, she dismisses the thought of him being in Hong Kong because there was no way that he would just go without telling her. No way!
All of the fandom collectively shakes our heads.
Yeah. But then she wavered, so yes, more foreshadowing.
I will say,
yes.
like, I completely forgot where Syaoran was. Like, even though I recorded this, a year ago or whatever it was, like in my head I was like, did he go back to Hong Kong? Like, I couldn't remember.
That's the beauty of new trials. It's like, there's just no way of committing everything to memory. So there's always going to be surprises.
Because I was like, where is he? And then when she finds him at the family estate, which you'll talk about here in a second. I was like, oh yeah.
She's like, hurry up, Melanie, audiobook. I want to get there faster.
I tell you.
She ends up finding him in Eituku, practicing his sword skills. It's one of the Lee clan estates where Ryuren used to live. And they talked a lot about Shulin and Ryuren. Sakura triggers a flashback from the Nadeshiko era. I don't know why Kiro-chan complains so much, as it must be so fascinating to dip back into time, as if they were using Dumbledore's pensive.
Oh, Harry Potter reference, take a shot.
Nadeshiko and Moonstone arrive at the Lee mansion. This is actually very early on, because she and Ryuan only knew each other for like a week. And Nadeshiko is still gung-ho on working together, but Ryuren is being very dismissive.
We got to see our queen, Mooney.
Yes.
Haven't seen Are They Them Queen in a while.
Your Nadeshiko voice imitating Rien's voice was so hilarious that I wish there was more. There was some chatter about Shulin, but then Nadeshiko fell asleep. Moonstone filled Ryuren in about what they've learned about the Dark Ones and how the Chang bloodline was cursed with possessions every time twins showed up. And this was actually new information for S&S, which I think is important to note because I thought they always knew it like us, the readers. Nadeshiko falling asleep at Ryuren's place is a nice echo to Sakura doing the same thing at Syaoran's back in Chapter 2. Poor Sakura thought that Aaron and Erika were being controlled and was ready to be their savior, but Syaoran knew very well what they were doing.
I also like that Wish-chan finally has called out the cringiness of watching their parents have all these like super romantic lovey-dovey moments. Like I have this like theory in my head that Wish-chan has a friend that like helps her edit these chapters, and then her friend is probably like, girl, wouldn't this be really awkward? And then Wish-chan's like, yeah, I guess it probably would be.
My theory is that she needs to keep like SNS apart for the drama, so when she gets to play with Nadeshiko and Ryuren, she channels all of her mush, and fluff, and ooey gooiness through them.
I'm just glad she finally sort of not really broke the fourth wall and was like, yeah, this would be really cringy to watch your parents like be this like romantic, you know.
Yes.
Anyway, it just made me giggle.
Did you pick up on both Syaoran and Kiro-chan being on the same side and ask Sakura what she would do if Syaoran wasn't there to wake her up from her naive ideas?
I did.
And then we get more foreshadowing when Syaoran promises Sakura that he would never go anywhere without telling her first. It's like, I don't care how many times Wish-chan foreshadows this, it's gonna hurt every time. They leave the mansion and they find Ariel looking quite disheveled. He drops the bomb, saying that there were 5 dark forces hovering about, and poor Sakura was only able to name Wave and the Riddle.
Okay, so let's break it down. We have Magician.
Yes.
And then we got Transform.
Yes.
And then is it Fantasy?
Yes. Yes. So these are more clues about the Transform, the Magician, and the Fantasy are out there because I am oblivious as Sakura. Unfortunately, this is when Sakura falls victim of the wave, which blocks her hearing. I hate that Syaoran and Kiro-chan resorted to insults, even if she can't hear him.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, jeez, it kind of took me a bit off. Like, Kiro, I could kind of see, like, but Syaoran, I was like, geez, going for the jugular there.
Oh my gosh, I think I was surprised. I was surprised. I think Kiro-chan is rubbing off on Syaoran.
But Syaoran went first.
It's the next day, and Sakura actually goes to school in her stage, which shocks me. But the story really can't go on if our protagonist is bunkering down in her bedroom.
This cast dedication to school could never be me. I would like any excuse for me to sit my butt at home and watch Price is Right at 10 a.m. with a bowl of cereal. I'm gonna take it. Like, their dedication to school is something else.
Well, the thing is, though, in Sakura's case, it's not even school, because it's all like, my brother can't find out that I miss school. My brother, like, Sakura, you're like 15, and your brother's busy, and it's like, she doesn't even care about her dad at this point. Everything is
Right.
like, Toya this, Toya that, he's gonna be so mad, I can't get Oni-chan mad. Ugh.
Oh, I want to be like, girl, he's a medical intern. He's probably only getting 2 hours of sleep at night. He's probably seeing like 40 some patient charts on his desk and having to do all this crap. Like, I guarantee he's not going to know what the heck you're doing on a daily basis.
Of course, of course. It's like, Sakura's mature enough to get her job done. Your brother doesn't care. So, Wish-chan tortured Sakura enough until she introduced us to a fan favorite arc, S&S telepathy.
Yay! I'm so glad it's finally here.
Syaoran to the rescue! Syaoran communicated with Sakura, but when she protested about following through with the teacher's punishment, Kai was an excellent backup and caused a diversion. Unfortunately, he got a bit cocky and he lost his own hearing when he had that little spat with Aaron.
And I think this is one of those instances where I accidentally changed the gender of the teacher. Because I think I started off in like a male-ish voice, and then it wasn't until like a couple paragraphs later I learned it was supposed to be a woman. I was like, well, oh well.
It's okay. Gone too far. So it's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
So sorry, Wish-chan.
No. It's not your fault. We get a cute lunch scene, and Syaoran points out that they were always on their way towards telepathy, but it was only today that the skill was unlocked. But it was during that scene that Sakura got her hearing back, which was sooner than I remembered, but I was really happy for her.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that it happened this chapter, honestly. I was like, oh, that's pretty fast.
Yeah. I think with like the wave doing double duty with Sakura's hearing and Kai's hearing, that it kind of moved on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They then proceeded to find out that Kai was the wave's next victim.
Which I suck at reading lips. Like, I would be up a creek. I would be like Sakura. Like, I would have, like, I used to work in, like, a office where we had these, like, glass doors, which were, like, patient exam doors. And my friend Mallory, she tells a story all the time about how bad I am at reading lips. Like, she would try to tell me stuff all the time through the class, and I would have no idea what she's saying. Like, even if she was like, Melanie, do you want lunch? Like, I'd still be like, what?
Well, look, my cousin, she grew up hard of hearing, and she was very young when she learned how to, like, read lips. So I think this is, like, something that people, like, when one sense is letting you down a little bit, then it's a skill that you pick up to compensate, because it definitely is a real skill. And if anybody in the New Trials cast is going to have it, it's going to be Kai.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but because I know my cousin can read lips, but that's, like, the only case that I can think of. But it is a cool skill to have.
Yeah, so don't ever try to mouth me something thinking I know what you're saying, because I will have no idea, just so you know.
Miho and Mickey visit Malin. Of course, Mickey was an absolute model of a polite young man, and Malin's observation of how he seemed too good to be true was nice foreshadowing. Sakura, Syaoran, and Tomoyo join them, where Mickey fills them in on his backstory. He said that Miera isn't able to remember him, but that's actually, she can see right through the imposter. Kai was invited to dinner, but he was very moody. And it was also in that scene that we had confirmation that Mikei had the family heirloom locket.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that was some interesting news because we're starting to piece together. It's like, okay, so who jumped him? Who stole it? Like, yes.
The breadcrumbs are dropping.
It's almost the day of the painting heist, and Sakura pesters Kai into letting her know how he could communicate even without hearing, and it's because he can read lips. They talk about Mikei, and the following dialogue is so powerful. I have just one question to ask you, Mizuki Kai. What do you think about Miho's older brother? Tanaka Mikei, Kai asked, quirking an eyebrow over his blue-shaded glasses. Without much hesitation. A coward, a fraud, a boneless piece of scum. I'm talking about the real one, Sakura said quietly. So am I, Kai replied. It's like, if you were naive as me and you really thought that Mikei was real, then this one just pops all over our bubbles. And I actually went back into my review in 2003, and that's something along the lines of like, too bad about Miho's brother. It's like...
So, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's been episodes ago now, but I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a scene where Sakura confronts Kai, and we basically all kind of know that Sakura's known, like, all along. I think this is what I was thinking of, was, like, this particular scene right here.
Yes. Yes. Couple that with the following scene when Ariel, where he and Sakura talk about Mikei could be a dark force, but he really doesn't completely feel like one, has confirmed that Miho's brother isn't who he said he is. Dun dun dun. It's interesting to see Ariel continuing the charade for Miho's sake, but these are just breadcrumbs leading up to Miho running away into the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel finally draws the strength to make Miho face the truth, and of course it falls on deaf ears. I like Wish-chan's detail of having the guardians around him for support.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel...
I will say that, like, I really thought this was the scene where, like, she runs away and then gets sucked into the fantasy. Like, I really thought this is what... Like, even though I did the audiobook and whatever, I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like jumping ahead. I was surprised that she returned to Ariel, because it's like, well, of course Mikei's gonna take her because she wants him to be... Like, you know, like, when it had the turnaround of Miho apologizing, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot that happened.
Uh-huh. I did too.
Before the scene ends, I just want to point out that Ariel takes off his glasses and rubs his eyes, so this totally negates Wish-chan's writing that he had eye surgery back in the New York arc.
I will say, in her defense, sometimes if you're hyperopic and get LASIK, it can regress. So, like, maybe that's what it is.
Yes. I just remember every single time I read Arc 1's New York saga, it's like Ariel's like, I had laser eye surgery. It's like, where are your glasses? And I was like, yeah, it's not going to last long. It's okay. What is
it? It regressed.
Of course, the clothes reincarnation is like, no, we wear glasses.
It's my aesthetic.
We are at the museum, and everyone is in costume, including Syaoran, who is dressed as the Kaitu magician to distract the police. We switch to Miho's POV, and instead of running to her brother, she goes to the hospital for her mother, even if she wasn't able to see her. And we get this fantastic flashback scene where Miera sees right through the imposter, and Wish-chan leaves it as that. Mm-hmm. Do you have any theories? With Miera's scene with fake Mikei?
I just think, we know she has some type of powers, and so it must have just been like her sixth sense, or like or sometimes a mother just knows. Like, I feel like, have you seen those videos with like when the moms are blindfolded and they all they can feel is the kid's hands, and they always can know which kid is theirs.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think it's a combination of magic and just a mom's intuition. Mom knows, like, so that's what I'm kind of going with.
I was thinking about it, and I believe that fantasy is Miho's victim. So she's the one wearing the rose-colored glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else takes Miho's word, but as the one person who knew Mike before his disappearance, Miera can't be fooled.
Mm-hmm.
So Miho's scene ends with the Guardians watching her meet up with Mike, who said she could stay with him. Back at the museum, Kaito Magician and the imposter faced off. But because the imposter was a dark force, it bypassed the lasers. I thought that was a bit funny. Kai saw that the imposter had his locket and used the distraction to get the painting. But he triggered the alarm. The thing is, though, the wave stopped him from hearing it and his friends from getting to him. Syaoran realizes that creating a vacuum will capture the wave since it needs a medium to operate. With this, Syaoran left to distract the police, and Sakura realizes that she needs to use the silent to get the job done.
Yay! OG, OG, OG.
They couldn't celebrate for long because their next target was a magician, and that's when Kai noticed the gang. Kai pinned down the magician, and he had to choose between getting the chance to get his lockets back or stealing the force. He let Sakura have him. SNS used telepathy, and we learned that Syaoran was having a ball masquerading as the Kaito magician. And I bet that Wish-chan didn't know that she was going to have Syaoran be the magician again for the Halloween masquerade in Arc 4.
Yeah, so basically, that's like the third time he's done,
yes.
That he's done this sort of like costume. So, I think Syaoran just secretly wants to be Kai. It's the Leo in him. He wants to be seen.
Oh, yeah. And if anybody doesn't remember, the first time that Syaoran was the magician was during the carnival at the beginning of Arc 2.
Recto Mundo.
The gang regroups, and they realize that Mike and the magician were not the same person, because while the magician was being captured, fake Mike brought Miho back to Ariel. I was confused because fake Mike showed Miho the locket, but I guess this is an example of the Dark Forces sharing resources.
Well, since it's the transform, maybe it like it has the OG and it transformed a copy for the magician to have to try to fool Kai or something.
Maybe. Yeah. SNS finally have an argument where Sakura calls Syaoran out for keeping something from her. Syaoran tries to deflect, but then Sakura says point blank she doesn't trust him, and she accuses him of being able to walk away just like his father, and I was shocked she could say such a thing.
First of all, like this whole scene, I was like, they are maybe, I don't know, I was like, they're maybe a little on the toxic side. I don't know. Like, I hate to say that about my OTP, but I was like, come on, guys. Like, there's a time and a place. But when Sakura did that low, below the belt hit about his dad, I was like, oh, don't make me side with the man, Sakura, but I'm sort of on Syaoran's side.
I know that he's been leading her on, keeps saying, yeah, I'm going to tell you something, and then doesn't, and she's really frustrated, but that's harsh. That was harsh.
But Syaoran brings up a really good point. Like, he basically says, like, you're the one that doesn't trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that going into, like, Arc 4 land.
Yes.
Like, she knows all this history about Syaoran, and she doesn't trust. Like, there was a reason why he couldn't talk to her at the harbor. There's reasons why he had to do everything he did. And at the end of the day, if she would have just trusted him, be like, this isn't the person I know. I'm gonna trust him, and then whatever. We wouldn't have a story. But still, like, he makes a really valid point of like, I trust you. You're the one who doesn't trust me, and that's so valid. That's so valid.
Uh, so, Miho apologizes to Ariel only because Mike told her she had to, and I think it's because a Dark Force cocktail doesn't live anywhere.
Yeah. A Dark Force cocktail. That might be as good as Moon Math. Fun times.
Everyone was back at Syaoran's, and Malin had a lot of questions, but SNS were still fuming with each other. Malin tried to defend Syaoran, but it was impossible without revealing his secret, and that's when Syaoran revealed that he already knew.
And he pulled the whole dad thing of, I'm not mad at you. I'm just really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Now, Syaoran sends everyone home, and Malin was left to face the music. And this is probably one of the most cringiest scenes now that we're actually covering it. I was surprised when Malin finally admitted that she wasn't going to tell Syaoran and just quietly tell the clan that he was staying, because she had this news since she came back from Starcrossed. And if it wasn't for the kidnapping and the injury, she would have been back in Hong Kong.
Yeah. That would make me mad too. Like, that's very presumptuous just to be like, oh, I'm just going to talk for you to this group of men that basically hold your fate in the palm of their hands, and you're just going to be fine with it.
Yeah, and that's when Syaoran comes in with the whole I'm not mad but disappointed, and of course it hurts her more. Yeah, no, it's like their relationship definitely shifted in that moment. And Wish Chen was like sure to write that in the chapter.
And sorry, I keep hopping to arc 4 because that's just where I am. But like, it still is not fixed yet in arc 4. It's really not. It's really not. And I mean, I'll clue you guys in like once we get there about when I think it maybe starts to get better, but it's definitely still fractured.
Yeah, like I know she's gonna train to be his protector, and she does want to be there for him, but this really hurts Syaoran. Especially since like Malin was that one person always in his corner.
Yeah, like she really broke his trust big time. And I feel like it's also sort of a respect thing as well. Like, it's a respect thing, him respecting her and then her respecting him. I feel like I'm kind of this way too, that if I lose my respect for someone even just a tiny bit, it's really hard for me to build that respect back up. Like, I just completely see you in a different light forevermore until something like really drastic happens to make me be like, okay. But I don't know, I can sort of see Syaoran being like that a little bit, maybe not quite to that extreme, but like I could see him being like, it's gonna be a while before I put you back on that pedestal I had you in before all this happened.
We come to the penultimate scene of the chapter, where Malin stays with Kai, and he literally gives her a shoulder to cry on, calling back to when she was there for him in the graveyard. And that's when she gets really vulnerable and admits that a part of her did hope that Syaoran would return to the clan. And even though Malin has made strides in terms of getting over Syaoran, we do see echoes of her old crush when she talked about wanting Sakura to go through the anguish of losing Syaoran to the clan the same way Malin herself felt during the Chosen One trials. Sad to say her wish comes true.
Yeah.
We get a lot of sweetness between Kai and Malin, and if people weren't shipping them already, now is the time.
So good. I loved doing this scene. If I may toot my horn, I feel like I did a pretty good job with it.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. He really made the scene come to life. Like the one he was stroking her hair, and then the tingle that she felt on her back. We were all Malin in that moment.
Such a good scene. So good.
The chapter ends with Sakura unable to sleep because of everything that Syaoran is keeping from her. And if this chapter wasn't jammed-packed enough, Wish-chan loads a whole lot of foreshadowing on us. From the end of Arc 3, when she chases after Syaoran, her future relationship with Aaron, and finally the return of Leiyun.
It's insane. Insane.
It's like, here I am scrambling to finish the audiobook in my notes so that I can podcast, and it's like, what?
I swear she's got one of those, like, in detective shows where, like, they hang up pictures
yes.
and it's, like, all these red cords attached to everything.
Yes.
I swear that's what she has to have in her house somewhere in order to, like, make sure she remembers everything. Like, I don't know. Like, it's crazy the amount of planning and stuff that she's done. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Wish-chan must have been so excited to write that scene because, of course, she left all of us confused.
I remember us all talking, like, who do you think the blue-eyed person is?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we move on to the Dark Forces corner. So, reeling back to the beginning of the chapter, Aaron wakes up from his dream. There's a magician that bows to him, disappears, and I believe it's the magician. And then we had this really interesting discussion about, is he really the Lord? At the museum, the wave shows up, but only to block Kai's hearing and to give Sakura a tiny taste of what's to come, because she did lose her hearing at the museum before she actually loses it completely later on. Sakura uses the fly card when looking for Syaoran.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Sakura and Syaoran see a person in a black cloak when they were at the mansion, and they thought it was Kai, but I think that was the magician.
Mm-hmm.
When Ariel confronts Miho about Mike not being real, he throws the word fantasies at her. And I like that foreshadowing.
Wow, that went over my head.
That's why I love this segment. It's like, I can't talk about everything, but at least if something's on my Dark Force radar, I can throw it in here.
Love it.
At the museum, Sakura uses another OG card, the lock, to keep the police out.
Yeah.
The wave had yet another party trick when it created an invisible barrier to stop Sakura from getting to Kai.
It's like the second time you've got me this episode.
The silent card is used to capture the wave, and I actually completely forgot about this, so serve me up another piece of humble pie. OGs really do exist in new trials. Sakura also seals the magician, and actually it went to Kai first because he did the work to catch it. But he gave it to Sakura because what's he going to do with the Sakura card? Fan art spotlight.
Oh, you missed one.
Really?
Yeah, she uses the invisible to get them all past the guards and stuff at the end.
That is true. She does use the invisible. I remember the guards being knocked out by Kai, but that went over my radar. Ah, yes. Wish-chan must have been so happy when she made the invisible in the New York saga, because that's a card that definitely gets used.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like it's one of the most used cards.
Yeah.
But, hell, I would use it all
oh my
the time,
gosh.
too.
And you know what's funny? When Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card came out, there was the invisible, I know it illusion. I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically an invisible card.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fan art spotlight. Wish-chan released a sketch of intimate Kai and Mei-lin that unfortunately got lost with time, but the colored version is up on DeviantArt. I remember in Wish Chan's original notes from 2003, she said she knew that Kai didn't have the locket on in the scene, but she was in the mood to draw it anyway.
It's such a good picture. It's so
I know. I think this is like the first official fan art of, I'm not really thinking too hard about it, but I think this is the first official fan art of Kai and Meilin, so I think it's really sweet. Okay, now we move on to the author's notes.
All right, we have Wish Chan. Finally, chapter 45 is up. Building up intention. More things happening at once. Foreshadowing and suspension. Yes, Wish Chan.
Yes, Wish Chan, yes.
I want to write a Kaido Magician side story pretty soon. Seems like a popular character among fans.
You have no idea.
I'm glad. I think I got over my writer's block too. Yay! And thank you once again for sending encouraging emails, posting up reviews on fanfiction, and those who attempted to talk to me online, though I'm not the best person to talk online because I'm often busy. And then I finally graduated high school, and now I'm on my carefree summer vacation. And then she says, comments and stuff is always appreciated. And then... And then I want to make sure to say, she says, thank you to Amethyst Beloved for posting up the rest of New Trials on fanfiction.net, carrying on after Digi Dynasty. I'm really grateful to both of them.
Yes, this is my official debut into the New Trials fandom, and honestly, it started off with uploading chapters on fanfiction.net, and then it just spiraled in so many other fan projects. And honestly, out of all the fan projects that I've done, this podcast is my number one, maybe tied with my cosplaying.
Aww. So when you saw that she typed out your name here, how much did you fangirl?
Well, like... the Wish Chan writing my name in her chapter. It won't be the last time. But I think the time that I was moved the most was when she posted a Takashi and Chiharu fan art, and then she dedicated that to me, and I was just moved beyond words. And I printed it and I put it in front and top of my binder for my college books. It was really sweet. This was a very heavy Kai chapter in terms of like the heist and everything like that, and I just wanted to shout out my last minute Kai cosplay. What'd you think of it?
Oh, so cute.
So, speaking of New Trials projects, I'm doing a cosplay challenge this month. And one of the prompts were cosplaying as an OC. And I'm like, well, I don't have that one yet. But then I pulled up the picture of the Seiju High in their uniforms. And after I saw what Kai was wearing, it's like, I can do that. Dressed in black, white shirt, check, sunglasses. And there you go, prompt done.
So good. And then another way of, like, you know, it's October in this chapter, it's October now, and like the Louvre heist just happened in real time too, so I think that's also kind of funny.
I was thinking about that when I was like reading my notes. I'm like, oh yeah, poor Louvre, they got heisted big time, you know. So everybody knows that the robbers, they dressed as construction workers because the old adage is, if you look like you belong, no one's going to question anything. So funny enough, Cameron, he has done sort of the same thing. He hasn't stolen anything, guys. That hasn't happened. But when he's in different areas for work and he's wearing all his construction clothes, sometimes he'll just walk in a museum, pretend that he's like working there, and then just spend the day there seeing everything for free. Without paying for a ticket.
Cheap tricks with Cameron. If you listen to the Shane Dawson podcast.
Look like you belong there, no one's gonna question it.
you know, I I can't fault it, especially with today's ticket pricing. And then the very last thing she mentions on her note is, on a side note, I switched to Mei Lin. Just felt like it, because I know I kind of switched it a long time in the audiobook, but I'm sure those of you that know, like, for the longest time, she spelled Mei Lin with an R. So it's like Meirin, Meirin. But anyway.
Yes, no, chapter 45 was definitely a big turning point for the fandom. Well, on a personal note, it's because I'm part of it now, but it was really cool to see, like, Wish-chan after 44 chapters going from Meirin to Meilin, so it's like, yay! You've been listening to New Trials the Podcast, where it must rain for there to be a rainbow.
You've been listening to New Trials the Podcast. Please be sure to check out the audiobook version of this fan fiction that you can find anywhere that you can find this podcast. Also, please be sure to check out the Facebook fan page for New Trials, where a big part of the discussions happen nowadays. And stick around next time when we discuss Chapter 46, Spinner of Cobwebs.